Hello, everyone, welcome back. I have a topic today that is dedicated to help you and to give you a little bit of an insight from somebody who has been in US for over 10 years and living in a small town like this. I don't know if you can see all those geese and their babies. Um, so you have to be honest before even you bring a lady here. You have to be honest in telling her if you live in a small town or rural area or country place. You have to be honest with her and tell her what kind of lifestyle she's going to have. And also, I want you to understand something, that Ukrainian bigger cities and big cities and capitals, Russian, Ukrainian, and so on, are a lot different than American big cities. I feel that Ukrainian big cities like Kiev or Kharkov, they are a lot more cozy, they are less violent, they are more comfortable to live, and they're just safer. And they are more pleasant. I don't know how to explain this. I'm not against the big cities in US. I've been to quite a few now. And I probably would not want to raise my son there because of the crime and violence and some other issues. So it depends where you live, of course, what you got. But if you do your job and explain her that, yes, you might consider it boring. But a lot of my friends, when my son was little, were actually envious that I basically live on a dacha. You know what dacha is? So, dacha is like a cottage house. Meaning, not that my house is like a cottage, but it means in Russia and Ukraine, people have cottage house. So on a weekend or in summer, they just go to peace and nature. And when you have children, you want to have that. You want to have some space. So you can give that insight, but also you have to take some time to learn about what your Ukrainian lady really wants, because you can explain her all about the benefits on a village life, and that you can basically drive a vehicle 25, 30, 40 minutes and you're in a big city. But you have to listen what she responds. If your response is very negative, if she just can't imagine that, if she is too young and she want to have a party life, and so she's probably either not ready or that's just not her thing. Because I have to say honestly, I definitely miss the events. I miss the all the things you get living in a big city. In fact, I went to many concerts in Ukraine. I did a lot of great things when I was living in Kiev. Here you see my buddies and their babies. They are happy with raising their family here. Don't know if you could see them, guys. They're so adorable. So yes, you have to have this honest conversation. Show some pictures, show some videos. Explain them, explain what it is. There is no point of telling somebody and then when they come, they're like, oh my gosh, I'm in the middle of nowhere. Like, for me now, honestly, what can I tell? I probably would like to live in I would call it right now a middle city. So something, not as big as Chicago, with all that violence and all that crazy stuff. Probably not New York itself, but maybe not as small as the city I live right now for the future. But something that have some certain a little bit more of international community, maybe cities like something similar and to Ann Arbor, something I really liked the atmosphere when I was in Texas, in Dallas. I like Dallas, little towns, I mean, suburbs. It's really depends, and I do believe that sometimes you change your place because you enter new stage in life. So it's very much up to you. At the same time, there is a lot of people that even in my town that actually have high positions and do a lot of traveling and have pretty incredible life, but they do not want to be in traffic, and they do not want to have some other things that's going on even in middle-sized cities. So you gotta know who you are, you gotta honestly tell what your values are, and you need to ask her, how would she find that. Another thing is, a lot of stuff depends on your budget. If your budget allows, once in a while taking trips, going places. A lot of Ukrainian women like events, they like theaters, they like movies, they like things like that. So if you can afford those things, and you have to understand that same things that cost in Ukraine, that cost I don't know, $20, $15 to go to ballet or concert or performance, in US can cost a lot more. In US it can cost, $250 instead, So you have to be real, and if you have a lot in common, if you have good understanding, you can work out also a compromise. You can agree, if you're planning to have kids, to maybe live for 5 years in one kind of community, and then decide for something else. You also probably, if you're planning to have kids again, will choose where the schools are good. You probably will want to make sure that there are good schools, and things like that. So the thing I would say, once again, that is important is being transparent and just being honest. And if you don't like to go to the theater, if you, by theater I mean like real, like performance, like Broadway. If you don't like ballet, if you don't care about these things, you have to be honest. The girl in Ukraine can live on a salary, on a smaller salary. Let's not be attached to numbers, but let's just say, just for fun, like, let's say she makes $400. She has pretty decent salary by Ukrainian standards, but she might be able to have a lot more sophisticated lives than you are. She might be going to concerts, to events, not to mention the social life is tremendous. I'm from Kiev, Ukraine, so I will talk about that. The social life is pretty impressive over there. You just go out and you enjoy people, you socialize, and you can have sometimes a small budget compared to American, but you still have certain lifestyle, and you have to realize whether you can maintain that, and if you cannot, you have to talk about it and think of what you can do. I think the more transparent you are, the better. For me, honestly, I'm glad I didn't know everything I was getting myself into, but for me, I had a goal, I knew what I wanted, and I went for that. I will share with you guys one day my journey and things I had experienced. This video isn't about that. This video is about you at the beginning of this journey. So being very descriptive, insightful, honest will help. A lot of women will, if they build a great bond with you, they won't mind so much living in the country and listening to birds, as long as they have a vehicle they can hop into and drive 30-40 miles and be in a bigger area and mingle and socialize and do things with other people. If you tell them it's safe for their kids, if you tell them it's comfortable, they might like it. Another category of women might be in complete denial on this lifestyle and might just not be the right woman, because that would matter for her more than you. And you can't be mad about it. You might just realize early, before you committed, that she probably won't be happy. Something, guys, you need to know about Slavic women: when we really love you, we are ready to compromise on certain things. When we really love you, there are some things that are non-negotiable, but there are a lot of things that we would uh, do our best to overcome. Of course, no Ukrainian lady is marrying somebody to get her life worse, right? Nobody wants to have, and same for you. You don't want to have a worse life when you are married to a, you want to have a beautiful woman in your life because of the impact she will bring to your life. You don't want to get married to have drama and problems and scandals. So everybody is hoping for the best, and everybody is looking what's the most important. You might meet the ladies that have been maybe working in a corporate Ukraine. Maybe she had a higher job, but maybe she's tired of it. Maybe she's ready to rest. Maybe she's ready to be in peace. Maybe she's ready to either have children with you and just, dedicate herself to that. Or maybe she already done that. Maybe her kids are grown up and she just wants to just enjoy the simple things together. So whatever your situation might be, once again, my insight to be completely honest, to share as much as you can. So this way you will be protected, more protected from negative reactions, from things like, oh my gosh, you brought me here in the middle of nowhere. That's horrible. Everybody is very, very different. And honestly, I believe that when people truly connected, they're gonna figure this out. My strong belief is good things never break apart. People who truly connected, they go through so much more than just having to adjust to a different lifestyle. At the same time, if you want to have more in common, if you want to have more things you can do together and enjoy together, I truly believe it is a wonderful idea to be transparent, to share what you like, what you don't like, show some videos, introduce you to some friends, just make sure she knows what it is. Most likely, the opportunities that you can provide, even with basic things to start, gonna be greater than what she had. And you might be able to afford to travel and do meet friends, meet people, and introducing to the Russian community really helps to rebuild that emotional world. Sorry guys, world. So yes, this is just something to consider. Honestly, I didn't fully know what I was getting myself into, but still I have absolutely zero regrets. So it does take a special person to be able to try to make a move like that in life. Remember, you do have those 90 days. So if you have some conflicts and disagreements you cannot agree on, if somebody is really miserable, you can send them home if that's what they want. But I truly believe that you have all the chances. I do believe that we can have a beautiful life anywhere. But it pays off to be honest. You can make a video like I'm doing right now, even though I'm sorry for the chewing gum in my hand. It's my son's. I don't let him throw chewing gum on the ground because the bird can choke on that. So yeah, I mean, you can make literally a video of your town and show here, this is how I live. But 20 miles from me, there are restaurants and conference rooms and hotels and parks. So yes, Ukrainian women from the big city can make it in a small city. It takes a lot of effort to adjust. But with love, all things possible. Thank you guys so much, and I will see you soon.